What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the Gallo shotgun. This thing's an absolute beast. I know a lot of people hate it when people use shotguns, but if you're a shotgun user like me, I like to use them a lot. I think they're fun to use if you use them properly, that is. I got a rule of thumb: if they're 10 meters in, you're golden. Obviously, closer they are, the stronger it is, just because you'll hit more pellets into them. But with all that being said, this is going to be an attachment video, how to use. I'll give it a rating, but in a separate video, I'll have gameplay on how to use the shotgun and how to properly use it. Because I know some people try to use it when it's out of range, and you're just going to get melted if you use it outside of range. So I've used it enough in other shotguns that I roughly know when somebody's 10 meters in, and I know to use it in that situation. And if they're past that, I'll switch to my other gun. But I'll get into that a little bit more on how to use it. But other than that, if you find this video helpful in any way, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. But let's go and talk about the attachments here. All right, let's talk about the attachments for the Gallo. I think there's 3 must-haves that I'll talk about first. So the first one here is the muzzle. This one's a must-have. The agency choke. It's going to give you sound suppression. It's going to help with the vertical recoil just a little bit, when you're spamming your shots. It's going to help with the bullet velocity, but most importantly, the effective range is going to help with that, extend the range, which you want as much as range as possible with the shotgun because you don't have much at all. And after that, the barrel, another must-have, is the reinforced heavy. So it's going to help with the range once again, really important. And the Gallo is a single shot, so you want to be able to spam it as fast as possible. So it's going to also help with your fire rate. So reinforced heavy, definitely way to go. And the last must-have for the Gallo is the 12-round tube, just because this shotgun reloads on the slower side. It's not as slow as the Street Sweeper. That thing's ridiculously slow. But this one reloads slower than most of the Modern Warfare shotguns. So definitely the 12-round tube is a must-have because you want as much as possible. If you use this gun, you know what I'm talking about. So definitely put that on. So those 3 must-haves. And the other 2, you can definitely kind of exchange and kind of pick what you want. But as far as lasers, I go with the Ember sighting point just because it's going to help with the range just a little bit more, and it's going to help with the hip fire accuracy. But if you want a little bit better hip fire accuracy, you can go with the 5 milliwatt, and the cons aren't as bad with the Ember sighting. Yeah, there's a little bit more con disadvantage, but with the sprint to fire time, I think I'm a hip fire shooter with my shotguns, and the sprint to fire time will make that up here in a second with the no stock. So to make up that negative for the Ember sighting with the sprint to fire, I put on the no stock. So this will make up the sprint to fire time, and it'll hurt at your hip fire accuracy a little bit, but you'll still be at a net positive. So I think that's definitely the way to go there. But like I said, you can kind of start playing around with those 2 attachments. If you're more of if you like the ADS more with your shotguns, you can go with the combat stock, so you can strafe left to right better. You can do that. Or if you don't want your hip fire hurt, you can go with the wire stock. It'll still help out your sprint to fire time, just not as much. So you can do that. So yeah, you can kind of mix and match your stock and your laser sights a little bit, just depending on what you want there. But yeah, that's pretty much the standard build for what I do with the Gallo. So how to use the Gallo. The Gallo is amazing at clearing small buildings. So if you're in those small type close quarter buildings, this thing's an absolute monster. Or clearing staircases when people are camping staircases, you'll just wipe people, so that's always nice there. So it's good in those 2 scenarios. If you're in a larger building like a superstore, hospital, those bigger quarry buildings, whatever the case may be there, if you're caught out in a bigger opening in a bigger building, you just got to try closing the gap. Use walls, use obstacles, go around them, just whatever you can to close the gap. Then once you're in that 10 meters in, you're golden there. Then some other tidbits to use is use a primary that you're comfortable with using close to long range. So for example, I think pairing the Gallo with, for me personally, the Ram. The Ram's great gun for all ranges. It's good for up close, really good at medium range, and still pretty good at long range. But you need to pair something with a fully automatic that's you feel comfortable using at all ranges, just in case if you get caught outside of the shotgun range, that 15 plus range. So you need a primary that you're comfortable with using that close, then extended. So that's another good advice there, I feel like. And then I know a lot of people use throwing knives as they're throwable with the Gallo, just because, like I said, ammo is precious with this gun because it takes a long time to reload and you only got 12 shots. So a lot of people, when they down their enemies, they'll use a throwing knife to finish them off instead of downing them and then shooting the Gallo a few more times just to finish them off, because that's 2 more bullets you could have used if you're getting pushed by their other teammate. So a lot of people use throwing knives. I personally haven't done that yet, but I plan on giving it a try and see how I like it. So I know a lot of people do that. So I think that's a really good strategy. I am going to give that a try. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the Gallo there. So the rating for the Gallo that I'm going to give is an 8 out of 10. I definitely feel like shotgun-wise, this is meta. I think it's the best shotgun to use right now. It's my favorite shotgun to use. I think it's got great kill potential. If used properly, I think it's got one of the best distances for the shotguns, and it's just really easy to use, and it's fun to use. It's really fast. Fast paced. It has really great handling, so I think that's a good place for it. Alright guys, this sums up the attachment video of the Gallo. Definitely make sure to check out the gameplay video for the Gallo, kind of see how I utilize it and how I use the Gallo in certain situations. But other than that, make sure to port her up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.